Hello!
Hello!
And
welcome to I Will Say This, Though.
And hey, Danny.
Hey, Jimmy.
Something like a Christmas miracle happened overnight, basically.
Tell.
I don't know if you noticed, but we have, I think last I checked, it was like 2.6 billion subscribers. No, 2.6 thousand subscribers now.
Last I checked, we had 2.6 subscribers.
Yeah, literally last...
Was it
before the ranking Batman villains by how transphobic we think they be video? We had like 23 people,
20 something.
Yeah, and now it's at 2.6 thousand,
and that video got like 90,000 views.
Yeah, that's more than like a Taylor Swift concert. I'm not even kidding. But so, anyways,
how many people could see the venues Taylor Swift's been going to? How many people do those seat?
Well, when I went, humble brag, it was like I think it was like 60,000 or something.
All right.
But yeah, so that one, at least at the venue that I went to. But yeah, so that one video, lots of views, it got us a lot of subscribers, and there's one community that I think we should give a special shout out to.
Trans people.
The trans people. We have had so many supportive comments in that video, talking about how the video like cheered them up from world events.
A lot of reasons one might need cheering up these days.
Yeah, and like one commenter said like, "Oh, we are honorary trans people" or something.
I'm gonna politely decline that.
Yeah, I don't think we're honorary trans people. I think that's I think we're just two cisgender heterosexual males with a semblance of empathy.
Yeah, which honestly should not be in and of itself laudable.
Yeah.
I feel like praising us for not being pieces of shit that's maybe a low bar, but I'll take it. Whatever. If it means more views.
If it means more views, we listen to the scientists who once again assert that trans people are actually real people.
Yeah, let's stress that is in fact basically the scientific consensus.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, welcome.
Welcome.
As you probably flip through, we do a lot of niche, funny ranking videos.
Please go back and check out a few of them.
Yeah, please go back and check out a few of them.
If you only know us for the Batman transphobia video, go watch some of our other stuff. We've got a funny Christmas one we did a couple years ago where we're ranking Santa's reindeer.
We got one ranking Batman movies by how racist they are. My favorite one, the favorite one that we've made is the one where we made well, first of all, the Sleepaway Camp alignment chart. That's I'm really proud of that one.
Sleepaway Camp is one of Jimmy's very favorite movies to start with, so I know this was kind of a dream project for you.
Yeah. Which is funny because it's like slightly transphobic, unfortunately. But anyways,
there are trans people who will defend it. It's debatable.
That's true. And also, please check out the ranking live action Fu Manchu adaptations one. That one I personally put so much effort into that one because I'm Chinese and I put myself through the effort of watching every single live action Fu Manchu movie to make that video.
Serial.
Yeah, so please watch that one so it wouldn't have all gone to waste. Yeah. And also go check out Danny's channel.
Yes, my channel, Mutant Museum. I'll put a link in the comments. I do dramatic readings, mostly of like bad fan fiction. Right now I'm doing this Metroid High School AU fic that is really stupid. I'm also about to start this terrible Victorian novel that is really melodramatic and overly florid in its prose, let's say. I also do a lot of pulp adventure sci-fi horror material from like the old magazines. And I am close to finishing up a reading of Beowulf as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's going to be in the description of this video. And before we get started, I just want to say, even though our ranking Batman villains by transphobia video did really well, we are not going forward only making videos that focus on LGBT themes or comic book villains, to be honest.
No, I saw a comment saying like now do the same thing with Spider-Man villains, and I'm going to decline that suggestion.
Yeah, at least for now.
Honestly.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday. I just feel like it's not that interesting. Like they're all like scientists anyways. I don't know if they'd all be significantly different.
Spider-Man villains I feel like are overall less nuanced than Batman villains, but also I just don't want to make the same video over and over again.
Yeah.
This is not going to be, even though the algorithm rewarded us for making a video that is at least queer content adjacent, we're not going to keep chasing
Yeah, we're
that
not
one.
gonna chase the
It feels
algorithm.
unseemly to rebrand this as a queer content channel when neither of us are queer.
Yeah, and queer themes will definitely come up, such as with this video, and you've seen the title. This channel is just going to be us making videos for fun that we think are fun and funny to talk about. We're not going to be chasing the algorithm or anything like that. If you're still with us here, thank you. Welcome to the channel. We hope you stay along. And I guess we'll get started.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so the Rent character morality alignment chart. Now,
We put a bit of a spin on it from the usual lawful and chaotic axis.
yeah, so normally it would be, good, evil, chaotic and lawful, but we find most of them are chaotic, some of them lawful. It's not really interesting to talk about. So in this case, we're going to do good, evil, wouldn't be friends with, and would be friends with. I think that would be more interesting. And before we get started, Danny, what's your opinion on Rent?
I don't care for it. I think some of the music's kind of good, but the story is a confused mishmash. Most of the characters I would not want to be friends with or even hear a story about. I think it's okay to tell stories about bad people, but you have to know that they're bad, and Rent seems to think that most of its characters are really cool and interesting, and they are boring and pretentious pieces of shit, and I want them to go away. And I'm glad Angel died.
Anyways, once again, thank you for all our new trans viewers.
Angel killed a dog.
Yeah. Okay, so we're
That
gonna
is
get
not
started.
acceptable.
Okay, yeah, Angel wouldn't be friends with, and evil. I'm sorry. I know we just had this whole thing thanking trans people. I'm sorry to put the only trans character.
She is a badly written
She
trans
is
character.
a badly written trans
written,
character.
I'm pretty sure by cis writers.
Yeah, written by a cis straight male. I mean, here I will say this though. I have seen multiple productions of Rent for various reasons. It was just I have a background in theater, so I just happened to see it because I'm better with Rent than Danny is, but we both agree Angel, and I'm sorry. It's
Not a
debatable.
reflection on most trans people.
It's debatable if Angel is trans, to be honest, because at different points in the show, like even after she dies, I think Collins says he uses he pronouns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's meant to be Collins being a piece of shit misgendering.
Yeah,
fuck.
I don't know. It's debatable because Jonathan Larson died, so he'll never confirm it.
I think Rent was written in a time when we didn't really know the difference between being gay and being trans. Like,
Yeah,
they knew.
Or being trans and being a drag queen. Like that
Yeah,
wasn't like
absolutely.
So it's not really clear. And once again, Jonathan Larson was a cis straight man, so.
I assumed he was gay, and then I saw Tick Tick Boom and was like, oh,
No.
what's this now?
So yeah.
It's a mediocre musical, too.
So Angel, evil, wouldn't be friends with. Sorry, we both have pets.
Yeah.
If someone took money to kill one of our pets, we would
Yeah.
and we wouldn't be friends with them. Wouldn't be friends with, and is definitely evil. Now Joanne is definitely, and by the way, just to be clear, we're not going to be like guilt by association. We're not going to say, oh yes, they are friends with Angel, so therefore they're evil.
I can't remember Joanne's character very much. I mostly know this actress because she was really good in Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof.
Yeah. So she's the one who's like, she looks before she leaves. She likes margins and discipline. She makes lists in her sleep, baby.
She's the one who's going out with Maureen.
Yeah.
off
She's
and
like,
on.
she's the one who's like really helpful. She's helping Maureen with her her theater stuff. I think she's a good friend. I think she's overall pretty good.
I don't remember hating this character.
Yeah, she would be lawful.
She's like got the office job and she's like
Yeah, she's like
trying
a
to-
lawyer or something.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah.
I found her comparatively likable.
Yeah. So I think this might be kind of mean. She does feel kind of like not fun though. No, that's not true. She can be fun. There are scenes where she's fun. Okay, so she would be friends and she's like relatively good, I guess. I'm going to put her like here, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She's kind of a boring character because the show is not interested in people who have their lives together.
Yeah. And I will say this though, in the movie and the show, the best scenes are when she's just like commiserating with Mark about Maureen. I think that's a really interesting dynamic where they both dated Maureen.
The Tango Maureen
yeah.
is not a bad song.
Yeah, and I think it's a really interesting relationship that you don't see often, where it's like two people who've dated the same person and they're talking, and they have that in common.
That's a human moment.
Yeah, that's a human moment, and they're just like complaining as platonic
she's a
friends
mess.
about like, yes, isn't it? Haven't we all been through the same experience of dating Maureen?
Yeah.
But Mark,
what a fucking asshole.
He's an asshole.
Sometimes I wonder why I'm living in this dark, rotten pile of garbage building with the heat off, and then my loving parents call and offer me a place to stay. Woe is me.
To be clear, his parents are kind of like, it's implied they're kind of like homophobic or whatever, and wouldn't be down with Mark's friends or something like that.
I never got that.
I think in the movie, I mean, I recently saw the movie.
I don't think
one of a voicemail is something. We'll put a clip in here once we'll go back and look.
I can't remember.
Mark, we're sorry to hear that Maureen dumped you. I say la vie. So let her be a lesbian. There are other fishies in the sea. Love, Mom.
If this were like chaotic and lawful, Mark would be the one who thinks he's more chaotic than he actually is.
Oh, yes.
But he's just slightly chaotic.
He
you know
is
what I mean?
such a...
He's such a poser.
I mean, there's the great Lindsay Ellis video where she's talking about Rent, and she specifically compares him to the character from Common People by Pulp.
Yeah.
If you called your dad, you could stop it all. Mark is a rich kid cosplaying as a poor kid.
Yes. But he's not even as evil as he thinks he... You know what I mean? He's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even...
He's kind of evil.
Definitely wouldn't be... I mean, he doesn't do anything... Well, first of all, nothing as bad as Angel.
He's more evil than good.
More evil than good, but, like,
I
not
think
even... Yeah.
That's a good place to put him.
Yeah, no dog killing, but, like...
He's not so much evil... I mean, he is a little evil, but mostly what he is just fucking annoying.
He's just a dick. Yeah, he's always filming everything. And I will say this, though. He is a manifestation, I think, and it's very easily interpreted as Jonathan Larson's straight cis guilt.
Yeah.
Because Jonathan Larson was a cis straight man.
The problem is...
profiting off of making art based on these marginalized communities.
The problem is it's also his way of letting himself off the hook for all that guilt by making Mark this, like, brave truth teller, which he's not, but he's supposed to be.
It's even debatable if the show presents Mark as the brave truth teller, because we'll get to it.
Yeah.
There are moments where they call him out, so clearly he was aware of the grossness of what Mark is doing.
I think so, but there is a weird tension, and we'll get to that later, but it does feel like elements... Maybe there was a version of the script that was a lot more critical and satirical, but it got retooled at some point to be like, no, let's just make a feel-good story about being friends.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so Mark, he probably thinks he's more edgy than he is, but he's not. He's just someone who, like, oh, I'm gonna film everything, and then he gets a job. He gets, like, an actual job.
I will record everything.
And then
Oh, hi, Mark.
And then he gets like a company, like an actual job, 9 to 5,
and he whines about how he sold his soul, but he doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah, just use the money and then, like, invest it into the community. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, or invest the money in your art or the community. Like, if it's good enough for Neil Breen, it's good enough for you, Mark.
Listen, like, rejecting a system is just rendering yourself meaningless. You know.
Mm-hmm. There's the great Calvin and Hobbes strip where he says, like, Mom, can I have some money to go buy a heavy metal album from a bunch of suicide advocating Satanists? And his mom says, like, Calvin, the fact that these bands haven't already committed suicide shows that they are just in it for the money. They're just trying to be shocking for sales. And Calvin says, like, even the counterculture is part of capitalism.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you live in a capitalist system, working within the capitalist system to, you know, benefit others, you could still like do that. Like,
it's the least you can do.
Yeah, it's the least you can do. It's not like
okay, what's the alternative? Go live in the woods? I don't want to get into deep political philosophy too much here, but Mark is a man who has a conscience, but instead of actually acting on it, he simply whines and ultimately renders himself neutral.
Yes. So screw him, screw Mark.
He's a eunuch.
Now Maureen, horrible partner, cheats on her partners, I would be friends with her, honestly.
I wouldn't put her that high in. I wouldn't be friends with her, but I feel like she'd be an interesting person to know.
Yeah, she's. Here's the thing, though. I know. Maybe not to the point of like.
You'd get the part of my brain that enjoys like messy reality. The part of my I don't watch reality TV, but I did watch Love Is Blind, and the part of my brain that just like was really invested in seeing Abhishek make an absolute fucking ass of himself.
Yeah.
That's the same part of my brain that would feel like Maureen would be an entertaining
Maureen
person.
would be an entertaining person, because like you even see in the movie where like she's constantly getting back together with Joanne and breaking up, and it's like, yeah, I'd love the constant stream of tea that this result. And also, you know, we're both we both have theater backgrounds. I think we know a few people like Maureen.
I've dated a few people like Maureen.
Yeah, and you know, like here, to be clear, you know, yeah, it's not like, don't like constantly hitting on people while in a relationship. Yeah, that's definitely like evil behavior. But it's so fun to hang around. Like, I wouldn't date Maureen.
No.
But
I have learned my lesson.
But I think having a few Maureens in your friend group spices up your life a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's fair to say.
I would keep Maureen at arm's length if I knew her.
Yeah.
And you know what? If this musical were just about Maureen and her messy life, might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Better than it is now.
And before I move on from Maureen, I just want to say, Maureen is. This is a weird thing. I think is really funny. But Maureen is basically like Harry Lime from The Third Man.
I still need to watch that. I've never seen that one.
Oh, okay. You should watch.
That's the Orson Welles
good.
character,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Because like everyone talks about her, like just like Harry Lime. You just feel like her presence throughout the entire like first like half of the movie, and then before she even shows up. And I think
Right.
I like characters like that. I like characters where half the time they're just being talked about, and you feel their presence when they're not even on screen.
Now we got Rosario Dawson's character, whose name I can't remember. She was good.
Mimi.
She was also good in
Whoops.
Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, all right.
I accidentally clicked Roger. Roger.
All right, Roger before Mimi. I wouldn't. He's
wouldn't
such
be
a sad sack.
Yeah, I'll put him here.
I get why, like, his girlfriend.
But Roger, I feel like he's just so like neutral. Like he's not neither good nor evil. All he cares about is writing the perfect song or something. He doesn't even do that.
Well, it's Rent. None of the songs are going to be that good.
That's not true. Okay.
Some of them are kind of good, but
Maureen,
none of them are perfect.
What's the name of this song?
The Tango, Maureen.
Yeah, and also Take Me, Baby. I love that
I like
song.
the Light My Candle one that
Yeah.
Mimi sings.
Like listen, Rent, for all it's worth, it has like a couple really good songs that I hum to myself all the time.
I wouldn't go so far as to say really good, but there's a few that are pretty good,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
But you know what song isn't good? The fucking song that Roger
When he's out in
plays
the
at the
desert?
end.
Yeah.
No, I mean the song that Roger's been working on the entire show.
I can't remember that one.
I don't know. And at the end he plays it, and it's the worst song in the whole show. And
How'd I let you slip away when I'm longing so to...
anyways, I wouldn't be friends
I
with.
love when, like, the Hannah Montana movie does this too. When a character's arc is building up to, like, I have to write the perfect song that sums up who I am. And it's always the same, like, gloppy ballad shit. Like, that was the whole joke of the song at the end of Walk Hard. It's a beautiful ride.
And then in the end, it's family and friends.
Was just like the dumbest, lamest song he could possibly write. Mm-hmm. And I love that kind of song.
Yeah.
It's always stupid.
But yeah, so like being friends with Roger means constantly listening to his terrible guitar playing.
I think that is. I
So
think you have put him at the exact right point on the grid.
So Mimi, here's the thing. So the one bad thing that people criticize Mimi for is that she pressures Roger to do drugs with her.
Yeah, she's a very irresponsible person.
Yeah, but I can't even call her evil, to be honest. I feel like she's just
Maybe it's just the inherent likability of Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, and it's really troubling because like I watched, and you know how like I recently watched a movie. And I'm like, wow, I really like Rosario Dawson in this movie.
She's a good actress.
She's a
I
good
like
actress.
Her.
And at the end where she's like, spoiler alert, where like, they think she's about to die, and then and I was actually like, because I forgot how it ended, I was actually invested. I was like, please, Rosario Dawson as Mimi, I want you to live.
Now
you're my favorite character.
Here's
in
a
the
point I
movie.
want to make. The straight girl gets to come back to life. Angel doesn't.
Yeah.
And we've established Angel's a terrible person, but still, why is it the queerest
That's
character
true.
in this allegedly super queer show is the only one who permanently dies.
Because the show was made by Mark, who just
Yes.
wants to profit off the suffering of marginalized queer communities. But
it's vulture shit.
But taking that aside, I think I'm gonna put her like, I don't know. She's not neutral.
She's not good. I think she is neutral because
She's slightly irresponsible.
Yeah, okay.
Worse than Roger, but like
She's more irresponsible than Roger.
Yeah.
A lot more likable.
But a lot of it is, she's. First of all, she's a drug addict. Being addicted to drugs does not necessarily make you a bad person. I will say this though.
Yes, I
a
agree.
lot. It's a health issue. A lot of people, some people are biologically predisposed to be addicted. Some people can like smoke 10 cigarettes and not develop an addiction.
And
some people can't.
Yeah, when she's pressuring him into doing heroin with her, to me, that reads less like her being conniving and manipulative, and more like her just being a person who does not have their life together, and you feel bad for her. Not that she's a terrible person. She's wrong, obviously.
Yes.
And
she does go to rehab even if she doesn't like succeed at it,
Yeah.
And also
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Because we're coming up on a very likable character.
But she does, but listen, she seems so fun to be around, to be honest. Listen, once again, I would not date Mimi. I wouldn't date any of these characters in this show. But also, having a friend who can supply you with substances if needed.
I think I'd have a hard time keeping friends with her because I don't know if I'd have the strength to put up with someone who's that big of a mess.
But that's the thing about being a friend to someone as opposed to dating someone is you don't have to keep up with them, That's
true.
You could just like when you want to hang out with them, you're just like, hey, do you want to hang out?
All
You know what I
right.
mean? It's not like
True.
you're not like emotionally responsible for them. You're not like their well-being is not tied into your well-being. So that's what this Lyman Chart is about. It's not about like would you like be married to any of these characters?
Again, I'd keep her at a bit of
yeah.
distance,
Like I wouldn't be like her roommate.
No, I would not be her roommate.
Yeah. But I definitely think Mimi's, at least as played by Rosario Dawson, would be a fun person to hang out with.
Yep.
I'm gonna move Maureen slightly here, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
Just to be fair, because like they have the same sort of energy. Where
We'll adjust as we go.
Yeah. I actually forget this character. He's just like one of the characters from the rehab group, right? The No Day But Today group, right? I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember. Maybe. I didn't actually see the movie. I saw this movie on a bus.
Yeah.
It's one of those coach buses where they have the screens that. It is on a.
Okay.
I think I was still in high school at the time.
I'm just gonna put him like, I don't know, like he's taking care of himself.
He's trying. He's in rehab.
I don't remember this. I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments who this character is. I forget. I'm gonna put like here, I guess, because he's like taking care of himself.
Yeah,
I
good
guess.
for him.
I don't know much about his personality or whatever, but good for him. He's a bit. I mean,
Yeah, we don't want to go nuts on a character we don't know much about.
Yeah. Benny.
We're supposed to hate Benny. He is the best person in the show. He pays for Mimi's rehab. He let them all live rent-free in his building for a year. But he sold out, man. Benny's a good dude.
Yes, Benny. I mean, I'm sure he must have. There must be something he does. I mean, he tries to get them to stop Maureen from doing performance art.
Maureen's performance art is really bad. I don't blame him.
Moo with me.
Yeah.
Moo, and in Cyberland, we only drink bung Diet Coke.
Wow, commentary. He's right.
No, he's right.
He was doing that out of kindness to Maureen. Like, don't embarrass yourself in front of me.
He was doing that out of the kindness to the eardrums of the Alphabet City. They live in Alphabet City or something.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just want to point out, Mimi convinces Benny to not evict them later. So because of that, I'm going to put him more into good.
He should have evicted them, but...
Yeah, but Mimi sat down with Benny and talked to him and was like, hey, don't evict these people. And then Rogers got so fucking pissed about that. Roger, oh, you had a prior relationship with Benny? It's like, dude, she saved your living space.
Yeah, also... what the fuck business is it of yours that she dated a guy
Yeah,
before
you
you,
know what?
and it's a guy you don't like.
I'm moving Mimi up. I'm moving Roger slightly down.
Yeah. Like, Scott Pilgrim is a deeply flawed character.
Yeah.
His entire arc revolves around him coming to terms with the fact that his girlfriend has some baggage from past relationships. And to his credit, although he is flawed, he deals with that, and he copes with that, and he accepts all these things about her. Roger cannot do that. Roger blames Mimi for having previously dated a guy.
Yes.
Like, what did you want her to be a fucking, like, were you insisting
Did you want to take her virginity?
Yeah, did you
Like,
want to be the first? Like, go back to your weird incel forums
Yeah,
if that's what you want, you creep.
I'm moving whoops. I'm moving
Yep.
I'm moving Roger's slightly more here.
Yeah. Fuck Roger.
Not as bad as Mark though. Just because I feel like it doesn't.
Is Roger a worse person than Mark? He's certainly less
But it's less okay.
irritating.
Yeah, less irritating.
He's more of a nothing character.
Yeah, maybe a slightly worse person than Mark.
Yeah.
But I would rather be friends with Roger than Mark.
I would rather have a conversation with Roger than Mark, certainly.
Yeah.
Collins.
Collins. I forget. Was he in a relationship with Angel? Or
I think so. They sing the love song together. Like, we'll open
Yeah.
up a restaurant. There's a lyric in the song like, "I'll be your blanket,"
yeah.
which is, I am told, a term that most of the teenage girls in the audience will just think, "Oh, that's cute." I believe that is a reference to a specific gay sex position, from what I have been told. So, yeah, they're not just friends.
I feel like Colin's like the least developed. I don't know. I just don't. Okay, I will say
The
this.
main
though.
thing I remember is that Collins hacked a computer to
Yes.
yell about fighting AIDS.
Also, he hacked an ATM to like deposit money. If you say okay, so just for that, would be friends.
Not a good person. He hacked a computer to fight AIDS. He also stole a lot of money. Did he give that money to AIDS research? I don't think so.
That's a good point.
But
I don't.
Did they give the proceeds from this musical to AIDS research? I don't think they did. Put up a note if I'm wrong.
But still, like, how do we find robbing a bank necessarily evil?
No, I don't. But I don't think he's that good either. I
Yeah.
think, like Mark,
Well-
he's a guy who makes a lot of noise about doing the right thing, but everything he's doing is at best morally defensible. but
I
not
will
wrong.
say, okay, so definitely I would be friends with someone who can get me free money.
Yeah.
Maybe like here, like, I don't know, like not like necessary. I don't think he does anything evil. Just sort of like,
I don't think he does anything.
yeah. Other
I'm
than
going
like,
to call robbing the bank morally neutral. I'm
Yeah.
calling that one a wash. Hacking the computer to shout, like,
that's like,
forget virtual reality, try actual reality, fight AIDS.
I mean,
like,
that's like slightly better than not like, you know, it is
Collins-
spreading awareness.
I guess, but Collins is one of those guys who, like, the show is set in the late 80s.
89, I think.
89?
The movie, at least.
Collins now, in 2024, is a guy who logs onto Facebook to post pictures that really make you think
Yeah.
about how we're all on our phones.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Like, neutral would be friends with just for the personal benefit. of
Yeah,
money.
not a good person.
Neither good nor
I
evil.
would, if I knew him, I would find him irritating, but I'd put up with him for the money.
For the free money from his bank robbery schemes.
I am not a good person.
Yeah. Yeah. So, of course, because you know,
The homeless lady who wants a quarter.
I mean, I don't.
So this,
I don't know.
This is the scene that feels like it slipped in from an earlier and better musical.
Yeah.
When Mark is out there filming his cinema verite pretentious bullshit, and she's like, "Stop filming me," and he reluctantly does, and then she says like, "Hey, you got a quarter?" And he says, "No." And
Yeah,
he's like,
she's
okay
like,
then.
Don't let my suffering or something. Don't let my life be a way for you to make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, this
And he
city's covered in artists or something.
Yeah, and she makes this wonderful point that his art accomplishes nothing. And he doesn't even have a quarter to give to her. If he sold out and took that fucking office job, he'd be able to give her some money.
Yeah.
but he's too busy. He knows that he'll be okay, so he has castrated himself in the name of art. He has rendered himself completely powerless to make a difference because he thinks that's the virtuous thing to do, and he's made himself unable to help people that he pretends he wants to help.
So how do you feel?
I think that she is absolutely just kind of a prop as a character. She's not very well defined because she's only in the one scene.
Yeah.
I think she's in the background of a couple others.
Just wait for Jonathan Larson to be like, hey, I'm aware of my own problematicness.
Yeah, it again feels like a way of acknowledging. It's the thing that Bo Burnham does, where you acknowledge the problem and think that that is a substitute for dealing with the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, on the other hand, like, it's not like there is any way to really deal with the problem unless you, like... Because here's the thing: if you're not,
give her some money,
you know,
buy
like
her
if
some
you,
soup.
I guess if you were Jonathan Larson, and you made a successful musical Rent, and you don't die of a brain hemorrhage or whatever that killed him, you could be like, oh yeah, I don't know, maybe he did this, I don't know, but like I'm gonna donate like the procecies or even like a portion of the proceeds.
A good chunk of it to homeless shelters and AIDS research.
I mean, maybe we'll put it up again if it did happen. Because you know, it's not like I don't think it'd be fair to be like you know, only people who are like, you know, poor can make, you know, art about being poor, because
poor people rarely get to make art.
Yeah, because then they won't have the resources to make something that has like a, you know, like a wide audience to begin with. So, you know, I don't think it'd be fair to say like, you know, Jonathan Larson shouldn't have done this to begin with, but like, you know, in this scene, yeah, definitely, you know, in this movie, Mark should have taken that into account, taken this lesson from this homeless lady into account, get the job with Alexis Darling, and then give, like, you know, his paycheck to...
And he doesn't do that. But it doesn't feel like the story is... By the end of the story, I feel like we're still supposed to like him. He's not one of these, you know, shitty anti-heroes who doesn't learn from the story. And it's okay to make a story where the main character is a bad person, but it feels like it doesn't... We're still supposed to think he's a good person because he... I don't know.
I'm shooting without a script.
Wow!
Anyways, where do you want to put her? I know that I'm the one who's supposed to get veto on this, but like
I think somewhere in the upper right, like she's the only person, even though she only has a few lines and is kind of a prop for someone else's moral failings. She calls out Mark. She calls him out, and that's cool. Yeah. And, you know, she wants something that is understandable and normal and human.
Yeah.
And I can't... Therefore, I find her more believable than
I guess.
A lot of these other people.
Yeah. I put her more... would be friends with than whatever this guy is, whatever his name is.
I don't know.
I think this is. I think this is just one of the guys in the help support group or whatever. So I'm just gonna.
All right.
So because we know more about her personality, and it's like yeah. But let's be honest here. If we met her, she would call us out too. Let's just be honest. Because we live pretty comfortable lives, the two of us.
We do. I give money to people on the street sometimes. Give money to the
street, but it's like, you know, like...
I donate to the charities.
Yeah. But, you know... okay, so this...
I can't remember this character.
Alexis Darling, played by Sarah Silverman. She's just the boss.
That is Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, who hires Mark to work for Buzzline.
Right, okay.
I don't know. She has like one.
The name is Alexis Darling.
She's just the. I think she's supposed to represent selling out.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Mark is selling out.
She's the suit in the office job.
I don't know. Listen, I don't want to put her. Like, I don't know. Like, she just sort of works for like a TMZ company. Like,
are they supposed to be a TMZ kind of thing?
I think so.
Because that is evil.
Yeah.
And working for them is.
But once again, we are arguing that Mark should work for her.
I don't think
and
he should.
Just use
I think he should work for somewhere else. But
yeah, but use this job.
I don't remember it being that sleazy a job.
Well, I don't. They don't really go into that. I think it's just. But you know, even the name Buzzline, like, it's not a legitimate news source.
Is it maybe it's BuzzFeed, and they turned
BuzzFeed is not a legitimate.
They turned into one. BuzzFeed News got surprisingly good for a while.
Well, but like not anymore. Like, listen,
that's true.
Where do we want it? Like, okay, listen, I know I'm...
Is it as sleazy as Celebrity Gossip TMZ, or is it just
I don't remember the play.
Harmless fluff?
I'm gonna assume... Would we be friends with someone who has a stable job that might be slightly unethical. I mean, you know,
I mean, how unethical are we talking here? And
also
also,
slightly, not
what
like,
do we know about this character as a person when she's not at work?
she has like one scene where she's just like hiring Mark, and
Yeah,
she's
so-
just like, oh, I'll give you like, what was it, like 3,000? I forget the paycheck. We'll put it up.
Yeah,
But like, I don't even know.
It
if it's
doesn't
good or
matter,
not.
but
On commission, on an escalating scale. Start at $3,000.
so she's kind of a flat character. There's nothing really to her except that she.
I'm gonna err on the side of closer to evil just cause she's like,
All right, but we also would be friends with
Rich.
her. At least,
yeah,
wouldn't be opposed to it.
we wouldn't be opposed.
We don't really know her that well.
We don't know her that well. I'm gonna put her here.
All right,
I think that'd be fair.
sure. You know this musical better than I do.
Yeah,
can't
I
remember
saw it
the
more
character.
recently. I don't remember. I think it's just, I don't know. Let's just put her there. Okay, just
All
because I feel like having a stable friend, like, you know, like a person with stable income, would be good. You get to go to a few good parties once in a while. You know what I mean? But I just want to put her in just because I feel like we're gonna go back and look up what Buzzline does, and it's like, oh, they do this and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, their real world analog is
They're the people who wouldn't leave Britney alone.
yeah,
or-
something like that. So let's just
Oh, we may dip into the tabloid side, guilty as charged, but we are a news show. And your client has a fresh eye to bring real stories to an audience, and that's what we want.
yeah. So I'm just gonna err on the side of evil. But we still would, you know, at least I still would be friends with someone. I am.
Would you be friends with someone who was played by Sarah Silverman? I'm not sure.
I don't know
would.
anything about Sarah Silverman.
She's done some very questionable comedy bits, which I guess she seems sorry for.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is also, I guess, reveals my own personal selfishness because a lot of these people are like, I would be friends with Collins because he robs banks and will
Yeah.
let me in on some of the cut.
Yeah. I mean, Rent is a bit of a Rorschach test.
Yeah.
The way you respond to Rent will tell you something about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is our.
Honestly,
More to be clear, just to be clear, this is I got veto power over this. Don't blame Danny for any of these
I am
placements.
surprised how many of these characters we decided we could put up with.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Rent is, first of all, a lot of them are played by like likable actors, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, you know, I'd love to be friends with Idina Menzel.
What's
you know what I mean?
Anthony Rapp? Is that the guy who plays Mark? Is that his name?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a bad actor.
Yeah.
I think he can be a likable screen presence. Mark is just such a sniveling piece of shit that no one can make him likable. It's not Anthony Rapp's fault. Guy who
Yeah.
plays Roger is honestly a complete piece of untoasted white bread. But
Yeah, and you know, I feel like if Mimi were played by someone other than Rosario Dawson,
Yeah.
and you know she has been. It's just that's the I mean, I think in the one of the film ones she was played by the same person. I forget her
was
name.
there another film one?
Like filmed Broadway version.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She was played by the same person who played Angelica. I forget if it's
From Rugrats?
no from Hamilton. Angelica.
Oh, the Schuyler sisters
Yeah, the
in
Schuyler
Hamilton?
sisters.
Okay.
So yeah, likable, very likable actress, and you kind of have to get likable actresses to play her. Otherwise, you know, the central.
Just really obnoxious.
Yeah, at the end where it's like, oh, is she gonna die? It's like
I don't care.
I don't care!
I think his name is Jesse Martin, who played the detective on the Flash TV show. Also, I don't know. I also really like that actor. So if he was played by someone else, I don't know if I put him this far.
And the person who plays Angel is pretty talented.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in anything else. I
The
don't know.
the music, like the singing and dancing, like
Yeah.
they're-
Yeah,
I don't
not
know.
to-
I don't know this performer's pronouns.
Not to diss any of these actors,
Maybe
and also
the guy who
listen.
plays Roger a little.
And listen, not to diss you. If you like Rent, if you're a Renthead, I was recently at a Rent sing along, at Hot Docs, and so don't get mad. I'm sorry. There are a lot of problems with Rent. Like, my problems with Rent are less so the same as what Danny's problem is. It's less that I hate the characters, as you can tell. It's more so that, you know, I'm okay with like characters that you absolutely hate. It's more so that I just find the second act to be very disjointed. And
That
just,
is
like,
also true.
It's sort of like a montage. Like all the good stuff's in the first half. Kind
Yeah,
of.
I think that's true. My problem isn't that I hate the characters. It's I hate the characters, and I feel like I'm not supposed to hate the characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when we're doing this kind of media criticism on the internet, one very good thing to remember is that we should, if you disagree with us, we're not calling you stupid. If you like Rent, we're not saying that you're a spoiled baby. We're just saying that we don't like it as much. Jimmy, I think you don't dislike it on the level that I do.
I'm less viscerally repulsed by it as Danny is.
And these are our problems with it.
Yeah, and no one...
If you like it, that's cool.
There are no characters that are good, but we wouldn't be friends with. Maybe, listen, I was sort of debating maybe putting Joanne here just because I feel like Joanne's like kind of a lovable droll geek, and anal retentive. But no, then I decided, nah, that's mean. And she's not that, despite what Maureen says in that song. She does seem like she can be fun to hang around with.
Yeah.
So sorry for ever thinking that Joanne fans watching us. So that's our video, and we're recording this December 29th, 2024.
From here on out, we do record without a script.
Yeah,
actually.
we do record us.
All of this is improvised.
Yeah, and I hope you have a really good 524 what?
I don't know.
24,300 minutes. 524,000 moments in a year.
Should we cut this bit?
No, we're leaving this
together.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year. Like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Watch the other stuff.
Yeah.
Check out my channel. Check out the other stuff on this channel. It'll be great.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.